All right. Hey guys, it is Susan with Susan's Travel Services, and we are with Takura. Right. I said your name right, right?
Yep, you
So
did.
Takura, and she's with the Brando, which is one of my most favorite places. I say that often, but I have to tell you, so I'll tell you this funny story. So I won a trip here, and I tell this often to people. And so I was telling my husband, I won this because of my sales, which was awesome. And so I'm on this virtual conference, and you're with no one, and I'm like totally screaming, and my friends are texting me. No one's home, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I won free nights to the Brando. My husband comes home, and I go, oh my gosh, I totally won a trip to the Brando, and he's like, oh cool. And I look at him, I go, you don't get it. He's like, oh, okay, cool. So I show him the photos. He's like, oh, it looks really pretty. And I get it. I mean, all of Tahiti looks really pretty. And so I'll tell you, we went, and he's like, how do you win another trip? It blew our minds off. And I'll say this as you go through it. I think part of what the Brando offers that a lot of other people don't understand is I've been lucky enough to go to very, very fancy, high end resorts around the world. I grew up traveling. This
Yeah.
isn't just that, although it has fancy parts to it. It is the quality of every component of that place. The service I've never had in my life. The the experience of this island you'll get nowhere else. I've never had it anywhere else. And I on my iPad, actually, I wish I had it with me. My photo is me sitting, and I know you and I talked about this, sitting in the outside tub. I've got music streaming throughout the whole villa, and I've got my tub, and I'm sitting outside, and it's a picture of my feet. I always take a picture of my feet, and I'm sitting there going, "Yeah, I could live here." I didn't even want to leave. I was like, "This is the." It was just so amazing. The experience, every part of it, the food, the. I joke about this. I'm a huge Diet Coke drinker. Okay, so in Tahiti, everywhere we went, they give me Coke Zero. And if you drink Diet Coke, let me just tell you, it's not Coke Zero. So I walk in, and I'm not a drinker, and she goes, our butler lady says to me, is everything okay? And of course, I'm like, thank you, thank you. I open up the mini fridge, and I go, oh, Coke Zero. And she immediately picks up on that and says, is that not to your liking? And I said, well, I said, I really do like it. I said, but I'm more of a Diet Coke person. She goes, not a problem. 10 minutes later, my entire mini fridge has Diet Coke in it. And I literally was like, oh, thank you. And then I said something funny. I said, I really like ice. I like to chew on ice. And she said, not a problem. We'll have ice. What times would you like ice in your I went, what time? My husband looks at me and goes, what time? And I go, I don't know. And she goes, why don't we set it up for 10 and 2 and 6, and we'll just make sure to refresh it for you. And I kind of went, awesome. Can you come home with me? So it's that experience. So it was, it's out of this world. It's one of these places that you really, really need to go and experience, and the food and everything, and everyone that we talked to, and you don't see a lot of people there unless you want to, said that they could not believe they were like, we had saved up to come to this because we really wanted an experience like this. So I appreciate you sharing this with us to show people why. And I say this often, when you ask people to spend more money to go to a place that is more expensive, I want them to know why. I don't want to be like, hey, I'm so excited you're going to spend more money. Hey, what is the experience? Why is this going to be different? And the Brando really does stand out. So with that, I want you to share what's going on. And I want to make one note, you guys might have noticed, is Tahiti is, I'll say this, they're very efficient about their updates, but they do have an update as of yesterday. If you are going now, as of yesterday, you have to have a booster on your vaccine if you haven't had your vaccine in the last 9 months. So as I tell everyone, I'm not the CDC, and I also don't own France. So it comes from them. So make sure you check that, because the issue is this. When we flew last time, you won't get on the plane to Tahiti. So they check all those documents at LAX or at SFO before you get there. It's not like you go, hey, I'm just going to squeeze that sucker in. No, they're actually going to check that before you get there. So make sure that you know that before you get there. Anyhow, with that, take it away.
Okay, great. So hello, everybody, or as we say in the islands, Yaurana, Maeva. My name is Tikura Kelly, and I am the business development manager for the Brando. So the Brando is a private island resort. This is actually where Tahitian royalty used to vacation way back when, and also the island that Marlon Brando fell in love with when he was shooting Mutiny in the Bounty. Now, most of the islands in French Polynesia, or in the islands of Tahiti, that people are familiar with are high islands like Tahiti, Moorea, Bora Bora, and those all have big, beautiful mountains. TETIAROA, which is on this map where the arrow is pointing, is an atoll. So you can see that it's different. And an atoll...
Okay, now hold on. So I just realized, I don't think it's moving on our end either. So yeah, I don't think it is. So we got a couple choices here. I'm still on seeing your screen. Let me try this. I might. Okay, so picture. There we are. Yeah, it's not showing. It's not moving. So like we are still showing all your slides.
I'm sorry, all my slides?
Yeah, so like we're looking at your,
so let me escape then because I'm in full screen.
Yeah, so now we're seeing the island photo. We're seeing slide number 3, like it's highlighted. If you click on slide number 3, like click all the way on it. This is the real. Last time I did this with the Conrad, I got a phone call for my new desk that I'm sitting at, by the way. A doorbell. So yeah, so if we click on it, we're still seeing we're not seeing the actual slide, we're seeing the photo.
I don't know. Let me try to disconnect my second screen then and see if that helps because I was in full screen. Or how about now? Just one slide or more than one?
We're just seeing the photos. I mean, you could scroll through them, but we're not.
No, I have on my side. I only have one photo, one slide.
Yeah, it's weird. We're only seeing. We're looking at your what's that program you're in? PowerPoint. We're seeing PowerPoint. I'm so that's slide number 1 right now.
Yeah, Susan, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to fix that because I keep switching.
And if you click on that first slide, like you click on it twice.
No, I can't. I don't even have the first slide because I'm in the presentation, like the slideshow. Okay. So I only have one screen. I can't see the multiple screens.
Okay, well, let's do this then. Since you're in there, just toggle to the next. So what slide are you on right now? What are you seeing?
The very first one, and it's all.
Okay, so just toggle to the next slide. That's fine.
I'm.
Can you hit like the arrow to the next slide, like on your keyboard?
I can. Do you see the map here?
Well, yeah, but we're still looking at the first slide.
And I'm not.
That's so weird.
At the map. I'm in full screen in the presentation, like in the slideshow.
Yeah, I haven't had this issue before.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, not you. Now I see the map.
Oh, wait. Okay. And I just got out of it. So let me try again. How about now?
No, I see you clicking it though. Okay, why don't you go out? So if you go out of it, you can toggle between the slides, right?
No. Well, sure. Okay. So
I know it's not as fun, but then at least we can follow along.
Okay. How about now?
That's better. Yeah. It's so pretty. By the way, that's the prettiest thing because you fly on this private airplane and that's so pretty. Oh yeah, that looks great. Oh, you're so awesome. Thank you.
No, I'm really sorry. I felt
no, I have technical difficulties. It is what it is.
Let me see if I can read.
There's Tahiti.
No, it's too big. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, it's gonna have to be this size. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't even worry about it.
Okay. So, like I was saying, most of the islands that people are familiar with in the islands of Tahiti are high islands like Tahiti, Moorea, Bora Bora, and those all have big, beautiful mountains. So TETIAROA is different because it's an atoll, so it's flat and it looks like this.
So pretty when you fly in.
To me, this is what makes French Polynesia so special, is that we have both the high islands and the low-lying atolls. So a lot of diversity in, coming into the islands. And if you're combining, especially, the experience that you're going to have on an atoll like ours is going to be completely different from the experience on a high island. We have our own terminal at the airport because you can only get to us by plane. It's a 20-minute flight from the main island of Tahiti. Now, this here is our airplane. It's not a seaplane. It's actually just a very small airplane. We've got several of them. One is a 7-passenger. The other is a 10-passenger. And then we also have a 14-passenger. We have 2 flights a day going from Tahiti to TETIAROA, and then TETIAROA back to Tahiti also. So 2 flights a day.
Both. You book through you guys. Just as a reminder, people always say, I couldn't find the flights. And I say, no, you have to book it. We book it for you. And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Susan would do the airfare for you on this.
My husband kept saying, President Obama flew on this airplane.
I couldn't tell you which plane it was, but it was definitely.
I know. I'm so excited.
So this here is an aerial shot of the resort. The buildings that you see closest to you is where the heart of the resort is located. So that's the concierge, front desk, and all the restaurants. At the top right of this image, you can actually see the first 2 villas. So, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of distance in between. And of course, we've got that beautiful foliage for additional privacy. We have 36 accommodations. We've got 35 villas, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. And then we've got 1 residence, which I will cover at the end of this presentation. Song and dance when you touch down, and each guest gets their own bicycle. Now this here is a shot of the 1-bedroom villa from the beach.
Yep.
So every single villa has its own beach, plunge pool, deck, and outdoor eating space. The main entrance, out the glass doors, you have your deck, you have your plunge pool, and you have your own beach. And this little gym.
I love that. We ate there every time.
Yeah, it's really lovely. I mean, I spent a lot of time out here as well.
You know what I loved about that too is they would come and bring your meal. So we ordered our breakfast there, and then they would take a palm frond and they would wipe up their footprints as they backed up.
That's true.
Like your footprints, but they're like, no, we're good. Yeah, and I love that too. Can I be there right now? That's so
and full bathroom, which certainly there's a little pause.
I know. There, yeah.
Outdoor bathtub. And every villa has a beach that looks just like this one. So an important thing about us is that we are one of the only all-inclusive resorts in the islands of Tahiti. When we say all-inclusive, what that means is meals, beverages including wines and spirits, 1 activity per person per day, and 1 spa service per villa per day.
Awesome.
Say you're a couple and you want to do a couples massage, you can skip 1 day and do it together the next. The larger villas, so like I said before, the categories are 1, 2, and 3 bedroom. So the larger accommodations are just going to have a bigger pool, a bigger deck, a bigger living room, and a bigger beach.
And the beaches, I'll say this, they're very private. We didn't see anyone or hear anyone when we were at ours.
Same for me in all the times that I've stayed. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
As far as dining options, we have the Beachcomber Cafe, which is our casual dining, breakfast, lunch, and dinner here.
I ate dinner there. It was beautiful.
Nami is our teppanyaki. So that's, very intimate experience with the chef. It only has 8 seats. I was there in December on property, and I thoroughly enjoyed my meal at Nami. It was delicious. The mutiny is the fine dining. So this is fine French cuisine here.
That's awesome. We did not get into there because we were only there a couple nights.
Oh, no.
The building's stunning to walk by.
Yeah, and the interior also. I always find it so striking.
Yeah.
The Manu Bar is the bar that's open in the evening, kind of perched up into the trees. Bob's Bar is the bar that's open during the day. And naturally, room service is super popular. So one thing that people find to be very surprising is that we are also a very family-friendly property. So we, for example, imagine, you see this couple here having breakfast in their little outdoor eating area. Imagine you've got kids and you can just order this massive spread for all of your meals. Most people will do it for breakfast. And then the kids can kind of play on the beach and come back for a bite every couple of minutes. For me, having a bunch of nieces and nephews, that's kind of like a dream.
Yeah.
This is our main pool, not used a ton, given that everybody gets their own plunge pool. But we do get people who want to do laps every morning. They can do that. Yes. So this is one of our spa treatment rooms, really nestled into that beautiful foliage. And as you can see, this particular room is intended to look like a bird's nest because we are quite famous for our birds. The Lagoon School is our version of the Kids Club. So it's an education-based program all about teaching the little ones the do's and don'ts of the ocean, how to preserve the environment, why it's important, and all that good stuff. But like I said, it is an education-based program for the kiddos. Paddle boards, kayaks, canoes, we have all of that, and you can use that as much as you want. This is probably my most favorite image of TETIAROA in the Brando. So something that not a lot of people know is that we are one of the most eco-friendly resorts on the planet.
Yeah, I learned that when I was there. I didn't realize that as much. I would say that was a very cool, exciting part of what you guys offer.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And we've also, because of so we have a partnership with a nonprofit who's based on property, and they're a collection of really incredible scientists. And they have, of course, naturalist guides, and all of our excursions are actually led by those naturalist guides who have an incredible amount of knowledge. But one of the really cool things that this nonprofit was able to do for us is that they came up with a way to basically eradicate mosquitoes. So you can come to the Brando and you don't have to worry about mosquitoes at all. So what we do is we release male mosquitoes. The ones that bite are female, and when they mate, they're done.
It's because I want a mosquito magnet. Somebody said it's your blood type. I don't know. I'm type O. My husband gets none, and I get 8,000.
Yeah, I tend to.
That is so cool, and it is. I think that was also when I got off, and you take your golf cart with your concierge, and they take you on the tour, and they take you to your villa. Is how many trees? Because it looks like it's just going to be this wide open beach, and it's very lush and very beautiful. I was shocked how pretty it was.
Yeah. So like I said before, we are quite famous for our birds. So on the bottom right here, that is the red-footed booby. And like I said, I was on property in December, and I actually did, there's a couple of tours where we actually will cover or take you to places where there's a lot of birds. And so I did the kayaking tour, which is one of the two tours that actually where you get to see quite a bit of birds. And I've never been like into birds. In fact, I never really understood that fascination, and birders are very, very passionate, and they will go to, very far away in order to experience or be exposed to the birds that they're looking for. I always found that to be like very interesting. And I never really understood it until now. So I all of a sudden have gotten this weird appreciation and fascination for birds, and specifically this guy over here.
I grew up with a mom who's a birder. And so I grew up absolutely loving birds. And my mom, I mean, she's like a birder, like does bird counts and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
she's a huge fan of the beach. And so when I teach, she teases me and says, why do you always have to go to the beach? Well, how's that beach different? And this is what I say to her. Why are birds different, Mom? Birds they're just stunning. And especially like seeing them in their habitat or watching them build a nest or being able to just observe them, there is a gracefulness about them. And that is stunning. I did not see that bird when I was there. We saw beautiful birds in where we were sitting. We spent most of our time sitting on our pool and just enjoying the quiet. It's just funny. And then we walked out forever. I have a great photo I should post of us sitting. It felt like it was a half a mile. We walked out.
Wow. Yeah, that's really cool. So naturally, given that we're in the middle of the South Pacific, stargazing is going to be top notch. When I was growing up in Tahiti, I actually never really had an appreciation for the stars. I remember visitors coming and saying, oh my gosh, the star is so incredible. And I was just like, I see this all the time. You guys are weird.
But then you go to California or LA or New York or whatever, and now you're like, oh.
Exactly. Yeah. And now after having lived for so long in the US, I'm like, oh, I get it. Like, I understand now why it was such a big deal. So, last but certainly not least, I just want to tell you about the residence. So for me, this is actually like my own personal dream would be to do a stay here with my family. So this is the most private accommodation, and with that also the most removed. So this is about a 10-minute walk to the heart of the resort. Of course, everybody gets their own bicycle, like I said before, but also you could always call and we'll come and pick you up in a golf cart. There are 3 bedrooms here with an additional 4th bedroom, which I will show you. And that additional 4th bedroom is intended to be for a staff member, like a nanny, a personal assistant, or it could also be for either 2 small kids or 1 adult.
I'll be the adult.
I know, right? Yeah, same.
How come? Wow.
It is so spectacular. And I mean, the last time I was on, not the last time, but a few times ago when I was on property, we actually did a little dinner here and it was just incredible.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. It was funny when I was talking to the manager. So the bar, one of the bars at the restaurant is, what would you say, 2-story, 20 feet off the ground. And they have these little circles that you sit at. And it's just stunning. I mean, you're looking at the stars, you're sitting there. And, one of their big things is, they can't tell you who stayed there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of like, hey, so, there's famous people, but you can tell by some of the photos of people who post.
Yeah.
I remember there was somebody who was posting and I went, I swear to you, that is the Brando. You could tell by some of the pictures that unique to it. And they don't tag it usually, but that's part of the reason when we were in line, oh my gosh, look at that. When we were at the airport to go, there was a couple in front of us and, it's quiet and I'm not quiet. And my husband kept saying, you're not going to talk to these people, right? And they started talking to us and I just asked them, I said, so how did you pick the Brando? Just curious. And they said, there's very few places we can go and just get away from everything. Yes, their internet. Yes, they have TV. Yes, they have other activities, but there's just no place to get away. And his wife said, I want his attention. I want to be with him and not have anyone else. And I never saw him again while we were there. And I thought, how cool is that? They get to just get away and have their own villa, their own beach, their own service and everything. They can go do the spa. They can go do these wonderful activities while they're there. And they were staying a week. And I was like, that sounds like heaven.
It's definitely, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Really, really.
Yeah. For sure make this at the end of your trip. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah. So the residence has, like I said, 3 bedrooms. So the 2 downstairs bedrooms have this bathroom, and then the upstairs bedroom at the very, very top has this one here. And this one is considered to be the master only because you'll see
Oh,
it's got a little bit more, tiny bit more space, and it has a little office as well.
gotcha. That's so cool.
So this is that additional 4th bedroom that I was telling you about. So like I said, we could do either 2 small children or 1 adult. That person would have their own room and bathroom. Naturally, not quite as luxurious as this here, of course, but I'd sleep in here no problem.
Exactly. I'll take one for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so pretty. Oh my gosh, see, look at that.
So can you just imagine, Susan, like going with either friends or family, like you have all of this all to yourself, with the all-inclusive, like you're able to just order food and drinks all day. Like it's a dream, really, truly.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's also a fun way to do it. We do now get couples that want to go, which is a great way to go to Tahiti. We went with friends of ours in March, and it's a way to enjoy dinner together or whatever. But even if you do, now there's the thing is you can each get your own villa here. People say, well, what if we get the 2-bedroom? It's the same price. So
Yeah.
if you do 1-bedrooms, same price as getting the 2-bedroom. And we had that. It just depends on if you want to hang out together or you want your own. But it's a fun way to end your trip. You could obviously just go there. The one thing that I would tell people is, when you go that far to go to Tahiti, I try to encourage people to go to more than one island. It does allow for a better experience. Since you've already gone that far, I think it's worth seeing a couple islands, but definitely come here for at least 3 nights and enjoy the end of your time. It's going to be a very quiet time. They have fabulous snorkeling. There's scuba. When we talk to them about scuba, they say it's difficult to get scuba. They have to get beyond a coral reef, and that's very difficult. So this is not the place if you want to go and be on a total scuba trip, but almost anything else in the water is possible.
Correct. So yeah, and the other reason, that I always encourage people myself to do multiple islands is because it is a different experience. Kind of like I said in the beginning, most of the islands are going to be high islands with those big, beautiful mountains where you have a lot to do on the interior. So that's going to be a different experience. In addition to that, here at the Brando, we only have beach villas. So naturally, if you're going to Tahiti, you're going to want to experience the overwater bungalow because, in case you didn't know, the overwater bungalow was invented in the islands of Tahiti, specifically on the island of Raiatea, back in 1967. So although overwater bungalows are, in numerous different destinations now, we are the ones that have invented it. And so we're the best at it, I think. And I think that we've perfected it.
I would agree. No, and I think it's definitely worth it. I like trying to get people to do a couple different types of, like a beachfront or a private garden with a pool, stuff like that, so that we can have, we can have a different experience because they all are great. I really do think they all are great. They all have different pluses and minuses, not minuses, but pluses.
No, sure. It's just different, and it's like, if you're doing multiple islands, each island ends up being kind of exciting, especially when you're experiencing a different room category every time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is so cool. I guess my next team meeting needs to be here. I'm sure my team.
I always say that if I ever go missing, I'm probably just right here having a nice bottle of wine and a barbecue for myself.
I bet you the killers out there, the FBI and stuff, wouldn't be able to find us.
Yeah.
Although the Secret Service has been there because, like I said, Barack Obama wrote his book there. And so my husband would do this. He goes, babe, I bet he wrote his memoir right here. You're selling travel, right? When the president wrote his book. And I'm like, well, we don't know if he's this. But we always say that when we were there. And that's his joke now. It's like, you and Obama are like this. So, it's so beautiful.
So yeah, that's it for me, Susan.
I love it. I think we answered everyone's. I don't see any other questions, but I just love part of, like I said, is having a partnership with you really helps with questions, and also making sure that our guests, like I said, is we're asking people to trust us and to reach out to us and make sure that that vacation, that honeymoon, that anniversary, that special moment that they have is awesome. And if this is a place that they really want to travel to, we want to make sure that they know about it. That's partly why I was lucky enough to go there. It is definitely worth something to look at. It is not inexpensive, but you do have to remember there is no other place that's going to offer you the food and the drinks and those activities at your spot. Nothing is going to come close. The most you're going to get is breakfast and possibly a dinner plan. No alcohol, no drinks, nothing else. So it's a great way, like I said, for you to kind of budget out, okay, here's how our trip is, and then we end it this way, and we know everything's taken care of. You just leave. So it's a beautiful thing. And I'm sorry for all the technical things. We're learning how to use this StreamYard thing.
So sorry.
Right? I get my new computer today, so hopefully everything will run well. It's kind of my
crossing my fingers for you.
I know, yeah. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if you ever need to go there and you need someone, you know who to call.
Of course.
So I will sleep in that little room for you. I have no trouble. Awesome. Right. Well, stay warm in New York. Are you guys getting snow today?
No snow today, to my knowledge. It's blue skies and sunshine right now, but it is freezing out.
Well,
it's fine.
I have my window open. I think it's supposed to be 80 here by Friday.
So, I heard. It's wild.
I know. I like it actually colder. I'm like the only person in Phoenix that's like, I kind of like the cold. It gets so hot in the summer. We really need to appreciate the cold. So
unbearable. Yeah, totally.
Exactly. So perfect. Well, thank you so much, Takura. It's so great to see you. Okay, talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.